Start today with Tableau charts, dashboards, and the storylines. What are the different charts that we have in Tableau? Let's see for them. So the first chart that we have is a bar chart. Now, if you want to represent a bar chart, so bar chart is nothing but a rectangular representation with length, with a proportion value and a variable. So basically, it produces a sort of a bar chart wherein you can just produce it very simply by just dragging and dropping on the categories, on the rows and the columns and everything. And you can just simply prepare that bar chart along with it. So this is a kind of snippet. So let's just see on the Tableau how we can create a simple bar chart. Let's just come on the dashboard. So if I see over onto my chart section and I will have a look. So this is kind of something which is there. And if you see over here, this is a simple bar chart which we have created. So how it's very simple, like very simple to drag and drop, how you can do it. So I'm opening a new worksheet. Let's take a new worksheet, open it up, and let's create a bar chart. So basically for a bar chart, you can have like normally any of the column. Let's say for this, I'll take the segment. And based on the segment, I might take the discounts, sum of discounts, and the bar chart is created. So now if you want to flip it over, you can swap rows and columns. You can just click on this option and it will swap for you. Then if you want to like sort it from ascending to descending, you can do that. Descending to ascending, you can do that. If you want to show the labels, you can show up the labels. If you want to have a fit width, you can do that. If you want to have the fit height, you can do it. And if you want to show it in the entire screen, you can do it. So here in my case, first of all, I have created a simple bar chart, which was based on my excess subcategories and the profits. So if you see, these are the profits, and these are my subcategories. So this is a very simple bar chart that we have created. Now you can format it accordingly. So for formatting, basically I can go over here, I can edit the axis. And if I want to like give a title, I can give it. If not, then I can simply leave. In fact, I can simply delete the title as well. If there was any title which come up, I can delete it. Simply like from here, I can just press a backspace and I can delete that up. So that is one thing which we can do while we create a bar chart. Now, if you want to format that, you can go ahead, just right click on the axis and go to format. And here you can format your data. Like you can select whatever font you want to. Select from here the size you want to, bold, italic, maybe the colors by which you want to represent. Then if you want to have a shading color, if you want, in the case of numbers, you can set up the numbers according to your choice. You can have the alignment like normal, up, or maybe down, like that way. So whatever you want to, you can do that. In fact, for the title also, you can simply have the format and fonting of it as you want. Now here, these are for excesses. And pane is something when you hover over it and when you see the information, so that is something which represents as a pane. So here you can also do those changes, whatever you feel like to do, basically. So that is about a simple bar chart which is created in Tableau. And on basis of that, you can just do all the formattings and everything, whatever required. Now coming on to the next part, which is your bar chart with some color ranges. If you want to show some bar charts with some color ranges, then in that case, you can show it in this way. So this is something wherein you can put up some color ranges as well. So color ranges is nothing, but it's a normal bar chart. So if you can see, I have used the same bar chart over here. And here I have put the put like the profit on the color. So it has showed me the variations of the color. So the negative ones are on the lighter side and the positive ones or the higher number are on the more deeper side. So if you go ahead and edit the colors, you can select the type of colors you want to, and you will see the negative or the numbers which are quite less are on your lighter shades, and the numbers, as you go on to a very higher number, the color becomes more deeper and deeper. So here you have an advanced option also, that you can set up a start and an end number or an end point as well. And in fact, you can have a center also if you want to set up for. It's completely your choice how you want to set it up. So that was about whenever you want to have the bar charts with different color ranges, or you can have colors based on any of the categories, any of the segments, or maybe any of the region, then you can have that like this way. Then the next we have is a stack bar chart. So stack bar chart is nothing, but basically when we stack the bar across each other, that is called as a stack bar chart. Like stack means on the basis, or like stacking against one another, like in a form of a pillar. That's called as a stack bar chart. Now, how we create a stack bar chart? Let's have a look on that. Okay, so this is a stack bar chart. So this is something what we see as a stack bar chart. So it's pretty simple, nothing as in complex that we have. So if you see, we have an option over here of having a stack bar chart. So if you see, there's an option of a stack bar chart that we can create very easily. So we can do that for sure. Now, how we can do that? Like you can see, I have put the sum of sales in the rows, and I have put the subcategories on my column, and simply the segment on the colors. Once I put it up, my stack bar chart is created. So for each segment, I have the sales number. As simple as that. So you can simply convert a normal chart also to a stack bar chart as required. So like the way I have, I just created a chart like this. Okay. And if you want to convert that to a stack bar chart, so nothing of that you want to think for. You can either have it in this form, or if you want to convert into a stack bar chart in normally over here, just put your maybe the region on the colors, and see, that's a stack bar chart for you. And you click this option and your stack bar chart is ready. So this is how also you can create a stack bar chart. By converting your bar chart and just putting up a color, just adding a color column, and it will help you to create a stack bar chart very easily. So that's how we create the stack bar chart. Okay. Now, coming on to the other topics that we have over here, the next one, which is a line chart. The line chart is basically a presentation of line on the data set. That's a line chart. Basically a very simple line chart wherein you have a line to represent it. So let's see how we can create a line chart over here. So line chart is very simple. You just need to have the data set. So you can have the data set and you can just simply click on the line and create it. So I have created a line chart based on my ship mode and the sum of sales. So if you hover over it, you can see the ship mode, like what is the ship mode and what is the sales across in each of them. So if you go to show me, you have the option of line chart over here. Basically, you need a dimension and a measure to produce a line chart. That's it. And you're good to go with the line chart. Or if you don't want to go it from here, you can just simply change it from here. So from here, I can change it to a bar. If I want, I can change it to a line as well. From this marks part also, I can change my chart as per my requirements. So that was about my line chart. Now, the next chart that we have is a line chart with labels. So whenever on the line chart, you provide some labels, then it is called as a line chart with labels. So here also, in this case, let's say if I highlight the labels for you, so this is something which is called as a line chart with labels. So right now it's a standard width, but yeah, this is something which we can see, a line chart with label. Okay. Next is a pie chart. So pie chart is something which we see when we want to create a combination of the chart. So generally, always remember, pie chart is never created in the combination when we have a very large number of data in any particular column. For example, on the basis of states or on the basis of country, I can't create a sales report or any profits across the country in a pie chart, because that will be very much of a it's like it will be very much uneasy to see on the eyes. Basically, that's the first thing that we can say, that it's very uneasy to see on the eyes also, and it's like very much disturbing, because lots of charts coming into picture looking for it, so it doesn't look good at in any which case. So that's why we generally use pie charts when we want to define for some small segments of us or for some small categories. For example, when we have like a gender relationship where we want to see that, let's say I have a data wherein I have some population and I want to just see the population, that how much is the population of men and women. So for that reason, we can create a pie chart. So like in our case also, when we see a pie chart in our case, so we do create the pie chart in this way, wherein we see like a pie chart based on region. I am creating it. So I have just created a simple pie chart. Nothing I have done. Here I have just taken the region and I have created the sum of profit on the region. So if you hover based on the region, you can see the sum of profits. And these are your region on the color. So based on each of the color, you have the different regions available. So you can change the colors over here also. As I told you earlier, you can go over here, you can have a range applied to it, you can assign the palette to your data set, you can apply them, and you can for sure change that colors. And that's it. Okay, so that's about the pie chart for us. Now, next, there is a very important concept, which is drill down on the pie chart. So whenever you provide a drill down information on the pie chart. Now, for example, here, if you see on my case, I have provided a pie chart wherein for each of the region, I am showing the profits. But if I want to just divide that profit based on the category, or I want to change that based on any of the categories or anything. So that means I'm drilling down my data, right? Here I'm drilling down my data on that front. So how I can do that? I can basically do that by, if I say, my bad. So see, on the basis of this, on the basis of office supplies, on the basis of region, on the basis of everything, I can see this drill down option. So what I have drilled down over here is basically on the basis of my subcategory, which I have provided on the color part, and on the basis of the category, I am showing up the profits. And these colors are basic representation of the various categories. So if you hover, you will see the category is technology, the subcategory is accessory, and we are showing the profit. So basically that is drilling down your pie chart in a firm. That's what we call as a drill down of a pie chart, like making it to a more granular level of the data set. Then next we go ahead with the scatter charts. So scatter charts are basically used whenever we want to show anything which is based on the scattering of the data, or maybe in a small representation of the data, or maybe scattered in a way that we want to show how much the sales and profit looks like based on the variations. So basically on the basis of the variations, when we want to show it. So then in that case, we go ahead with this chart. Okay, so that's called a scatter chart. So let's see how we create a scatter chart over here. So this is the scatter chart. So here, scatter chart is very easy. For the scatter chart, we need 2 dimension columns. basically, if you go over here also and you see, you don't need any dimensions column. You just need the measure columns over here whenever you create a scatter chart. So I have taken that only to create a scatter chart. Once I created it, I went to automatic and I selected this. So basically, I'll go ahead and use a circle for that, or maybe shapes for that reason. So from the shapes, I can basically select any of the shapes over here. Whatever shapes I want to select for, if I want to keep it a square, I can keep it. If I want to keep it like this, I can keep it. So this is also a kind of a scatter chart as well. So I basically, from my marks card, I'll go to the shapes and I'll create a scatter chart along it. So herein, if you see for various scatter charts, you can see the various categories according to it, or across it, I would say, to be much more precise. Now, the next is when we go ahead with a scatter chart with color encoded. Color encoded means for every category, for example, for each and every category, we have a different shape of that chart. Like if, let's say, if it is accessories, so that can be a triangle. If it is in appliances, that can be maybe a circle. So that's why you can apply different shapes to it so that they are a bit more distinguished in a case. So that also can be done. So similarly, the way you have created a chart, you just need to show the category on the shapes. Like if I talk about in this case also, I can do that with. So if there is subcategory on colors, I just need to bring the category on my shape section. As soon as I bring it, obviously I can change the shapes as well. I can edit those shapes as per mine. So these are default. By default, they come up. If I want to fill it with something else, obviously I can do that. I have assigned the palettes. I can click on apply and my shapes got changed. In fact, if you want, you can also apply your own palette. So how can you apply your own shapes or anything of that sort? You have to just go to the Tableau repository over here. So if I go to my documents, I go to my Tableau repository and I go to shapes over here. I can really upload any shape which I want. Like these are something which are already available by default. But if I want to upload anything like I have uploaded a coffee image, so I can surely do that. Or any sort of KPIs I can do, anything. Like that's completely my choice, how I want to do it or how not I want to do it. So based on that, I can really change those. And once I upload that, I have to come to Tableau, I have to close that and I have to open it again. Or if you don't want to do that, just come to your shapes and just click on the reload shapes and you will see the new shapes that are coming over here. So if you see, my coffee shape is already there. So if I want to assign that to the palette, then it will be assigned to each of them. So see, I can apply an image also in that case. You cannot in fact apply shapes, but you can in fact apply some different things as well. Okay. So that was about the scatter charts with your granularity, that with color encoded. Now we come on to the tree map. So tree map is something which is like a combination wherein you divide the data on the basis of some of the basic data sets. That's what we call as a tree map in any case, wherein it divides the data into a form of segments or a color encoded square field, which helps you to justify your data. Basically displays the data in a nested rectangles in a small word, which has a dimension to define the structure of a tree map and measure to define the size of the color. So how we divide that and how we create that, let's have a look on that field as well. So that is my tree map. So now if you remember, if I would say that tree map, if you go to show me, you will see that in case of a tree map, which is my this tree map, I need one or more than one dimension and I can have one or more than one measure in this case. So how I can create that? Basically, I have created it on the basis of ship mode and the sum of profits. So now whenever I create a tree map, so I can have and I can create, like, you don't have to go to map. You basically just create an automatic of it and you click on square. So once you click on square, you will have those squares available and it will be created for you. So here you will have the option of size, and in the size you can provide the profit. So the larger rectangle box having a larger profit, and the smaller rectangle block means having a smaller profit. That's what is shown by a tree map. So tree map basically shows you how the profits have been divided across different regions or across different classes of the data set. Sorry. Next, we have a text chart. Text chart is nothing but a simple presentation of a tabular form of a data set that we have, that we present, and that is there in your data set. So how that is presented, let's have a look. Let me just put this up. Let me just move this up for more better view. So that's a text chart. So basically, a text chart is nothing but a tabular representation form of a chart. It can be a single representation or maybe multiple categories according to that, the sales numbers or the profit numbers you can show over here. So based on the subcategory, I'm showing the sales profit over here. That is what is my text chart. If you don't want to present it and you want to have the total subcategory sum or maybe the total subcategory numbers or just the numbers, then you can have the total of it also. That way also works. Now there is the option of what we say as a heat map. Now, what is a heat map? Like we all say that there is a heat map, but what is a heat map in Tableau? So heat map is nothing. It's a basically highlighted table. It's a sort of a table which is highlighted based on the occurrences or based on the color codes that you choose for. So that's in a different term also called as a heat map. It's called as heat map or a highlighted table. So like, for example, over here, I have put my discounts as on the size. So based on the different colors, and that, so based on the different colors, it shows me the discount and the profit on my heat map over here. So heat map just require a common category, like a subcategory, and based on that, you create the profits and you create all the discounts and everything. So like this way, it basically works on the heat map and all of that stuff and everything. So that is the heat map or a highlighted table. You can just simply have an highlighted table over here also. Like the way we created the text chart, like the way we created the text chart, you can have an highlighted table here also. You can just have to click on this, which is a heat map or highlighted table, and you will get it. So the more smaller or in negative, it will have more smaller size. And for the much bigger one, it will have the much bigger size. That's it. You can create in that way also. That's how we create our heat map. Then the next chart that we have is a side-by-side chart, a side-by-side bar chart. So basically representing the chart side by side. Now in this side-by-side bar chart, we would have two measures. Like for example, based on my categories or my subcategories, I'll be showing a profit and a discount. Like that way, I'm going to work on it. So that is a side-by-side bar chart that we have over here. So let's see how we create that. A simple side-by-side bar chart that is created wherein I have a category, and here I have just taken the discounts and the profits. So if you see, I can show you the two different colors. So let's assign them two different other colors for a change. So my discount is somewhat in like blue or deep blue, and my profit is in light blue. So this is my discount and this is my profit. So that's a side-by-side representation of the chart that we can see. you want to sort it across, you can sort it like this way. So that's a side-by-side bar chart that we have in Tableau. Now, there's an interesting chart which is there in place, which is a waterfall chart. Now, what do we understand by waterfall chart? So, does it mean that a waterfall chart is what? Waterfall chart is basically an effective display of cumulative or sequential positive and negative values. So when you have a data wherein you have negative and positive numbers, like the way we have profit and losses, if you want to represent in a way, then it's better to show it in a waterfall chart, because in that case, you will be easily able to see that, okay, if the number is going down, that means it is on a, like it's going from high and going low and like this. So that means it will show where the value starts and how it is incrementing. So basically how it is incrementing, how it is decrementing, it will show you all of these things. Where it incremented, where it not. So all of these things it will actually show. So how we create a waterfall chart is quite interesting. Let's have a look. It's pretty simple. What you have to do is that, so in case of a waterfall chart, what I have done, I have just simply first taken up the ship mode, this column, and in the rows, I have taken the sales. Now here, if you go to this, I have a quick table calculation, and I've just given it a running total. So it's a normal bar chart that I have taken. Basically, I have created a normal bar chart. Let's say this is one of my bar charts. Let me just remove this. Let me bring down. Let's take the ship mode. Let's take the sales. So somewhat a bar chart. I'll swap it like this way. Now I'll sort it up. And now here I'll come. I'll just have a quick table calculation and I'll add a running total. So you see, it has been like decreasing in the sense. So same day has the most highest running table across. Now I'll come to this automatic and I'll click on this Gantt part and see it is going to get on it. Now, once I create this, I'll just increase the size. So it's going to increase a bit like that way. So see, you can see some charts and everything falling on. Now what you can do, you can either bring the sales from here, like you can just press a control and bring the sum of size sales over here, or you can drag it from here and keep it on the sides. And then probably you can have an average of it. Sorry, my bad, not this one, but you can bring a sales over here. So from here, you bring it to the size and you can just convert it to an maybe to an average or not to an average. So keep it as a sum only. So then it will create a chart for you in that case. Similarly, like the way I have created over here. And now in this case, what you can do as you want to see it, how it is progressing or how it is showing. So if I want to show it in the average, so we were lastly seeing that when we were doing average, it goes to this line. So rather than doing this, just go over here, just double click on this and Probably not. Keep it sum, and probably what you can do is just enter a minus in front of it and enter. See, it will move from a negative. So it will start from your zero value and accordingly it will start. So it will show you that what is the sum of sales, and then you can basically change that. So here you will see that for the negative also this is going, and for the positive also this is going. So this is an aggregated form, so that it comes to a basic zero line. So it should start from a zero line and then it should go up. So for that purpose, I just did it as a negative. And then you want to increase the size, you can do that. You want to decrease the size, you can do that. Whatever you feel like, if you want to increase the size more, you can do that. Completely your choice. You want to show the labels, you can do it. You don't want to, you can not keep it. That's your choice. So this is what is a waterfall chart. Next we have is a funnel chart or a bubble chart. Let's say bubble chart, not a funnel chart, but a bubble chart. So bubble chart is nothing but a combination of bubbles that we have is something which is called as a bubble chart. Now, bubble chart is also something which kinds of people confuses with the pie chart. So bubble chart is also when we want to show for the less of a numbers of entries or the less of a number of data. In that case, we use a bubble chart. Rather than for more numbers or for more explicit view, we don't go ahead with the bubble chart in any which ways. So let's see how we create a bubble chart. Very simple. Just create a bar chart normally, like the way it is there. Let's say I create a bar chart. Let's say I have a simple normal bar chart and I want to just transform it to bubble. I'll just create a bubble over here. I'll just go and select a bubble and my bubble chart will be done. So the more bigger size, that means more sales, and the more smaller size, that means the less number of sales. That is what shows. Okay. So that's what we say as a bubble chart for it. Now the next chart that we have is a funnel chart. So funnel chart is something which is like a funnel type of a thing, which we have over here, which helps you to basically have a funnel way of a thing. Now, basically that is your funnel chart. And that is what funnel chart is all about. Like it's a funnel type of a thing, which is from higher to lower sense of data created. That is called a funnel chart. So funnel chart is a type of visualization that helps in a linear workflow, but in a descending order. It will show you the data in a descending order, like the way it KPIs are basically a pyramid sort of a chart, you say. So that's what it say for a funnel chart as well. Like for this, basically you don't need anything, but for the funnel chart creation, there's easy steps to create a funnel chart. Nothing is required. Like you just have to open a table. Now let's say in my case, I will just open a table and I would just put a data step over here. And let's say for this only, if I take, let me clear this up and let's create a funnel chart. Yeah, so my sheet is clear. Now I would add a sales. I would add my sales to the row section like this. And I would add my segments to the color section. Let's take it automatic. So this is how it will show me. Now what I will do, I will take the sales again. I can either take it from here. I'll just take it and I'll drop it on the size. So you see, it's just squeezed up with that size. Now I will make this as an entire view so that it comes in a view. So you can see that it's a sort of a funnel type of a thing that has been created. And now it appears like a funnel. So now I will add both the segment and the sales in the dimension, like on the labels. Like I'll take the segment and I'll put it on the label. I'll take the sales and I'll put it on the label. So now you can see the sales and the segments over here on the label. So that is how you create a simple